Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Jin from Passion Republic Games. I just so happen to also be the game engineering lead for the game GigaBash.
And hi, I'm CS. I'm the game animator from Passion Republic Games and currently leading the animation team for GigaBash.
So I hope you guys are having a great time so far, talking to fellow developers, sharing your favorite games from your childhood, or maybe even some horror story during your game's development. So the reason we are here today on the stage is to do the same thing. But before we jump into our story, quick show of hand, who have heard of the game GigaBash? Okay. From the people from my company, doesn't count. Okay. So there's a few of you. That's fine. Because thank you for it. I can lower down your hand. So I asked a question because today specifically, we want to share our experience and our story during the making of our game GigaBash.
Yep, some of you might already know about GigaBash, but to refresh everyone's memories, we are going to show you the launch trailer that we made 4 years ago.
Thank you.
And yes, this is GigaBash, a top-down kaiju versus hero fighting game with fully destructible maps, with different game modes and story mode. And this is the original crew who helps to make this game 4 years ago.
Now, if you give this picture a good look, you might notice something is off. So despite the two of us being GigaBash's speaker for today, you might not find us in this picture.
Well, you remember correctly. Actually, we joined GigaBash much later, but we actually joined during the DLC's production.
That's true. So this picture was taken soon after GigaBash released, and we only joined the GigaBash team once we started making DLCs. So I think we should play the DLC video that we are personally involved in, right?
I mean, you are right. So we're going to show you the most recent DLC Final Ascension launch trailer.
applaud. Thank you, thank you.
And yes, this is our DLC Final Ascension. And this is a young blood that involved in this recent DLC production. And you can see, actually, both me and Jin are in this picture.
Yeah, I'm the guy with the pink shirt right in the middle. So, yes, it is indeed this young blood, fresh faces in the GigaBash team that has made our most recent DLC, Final Ascension. So actually, believe it or not, the DLC was just released last Friday. And another fun fact is, GigaBash is almost 4 years old now since its release. And over time, we have been making a lot of cool collabs with huge tokusatsu IP like Ultraman, Godzilla, Gamera, and we also made a few of our own characters for DLC. But our fans has been asking for more original content and more story for our characters. So that's why we made Final Ascension to answer to that love. And we made a whole new story mode for one of our main characters, Gigaman. That's the guy in the middle. So just like most of our DLCs, we have 2 new characters, Gigaman's final form and also his rival, Rawa's final form. And in the story, Gigaman had to defeat Rawa to save the world. And also in the final chapter of the story, we have one cool final boss hidden in the final chapter. That is paired with the fact that we also have 2 new maps with its own unique gameplay mechanics.
Yes, the animation team also worked very hard to animate this character during the development of Story Mode. So you're probably wondering how did we manage to complete this huge DLC? Because both of us, we were young, we were like 24 years old when we started to lead the team. So how did we manage to finish this DLC?
So that's the golden question we try to answer today. As CS said, we are all very young. So how did we manage to complete a DLC that is the most ambitious and the biggest GigaBash has ever seen thus far? So welcome to our talk, GigaBash, our journey to Ascension. So like any journey, like any story, it starts with a humble beginning. So our humble beginning takes us back to the year 2022, back when GigaBash was just about to release and both of us just joined Passion as just fresh graduates. For myself, junior game engineer, for her, junior game animator. So when I first joined the company, I was very shy and very reserved. That's because, you know, my parents are Asian, then they'll tell me, okay, you have to be careful of workspace politics. You cannot say the wrong thing to the wrong guy. So my mom and my sister has been telling me that. So understandably, I was more shy and reserved in the office. To give you an idea how shy and reserved I was, so if you look in this picture, the guy in the middle in front of the whiteboard is, at the time, our director. His name is Mel. So this was my very first week with GigaBash, and Mel is holding a meeting, my very first meeting for the team, for the GigaBash team. So he was summoning his lieutenant, his teammates, to explain how to make GigaBash better. So everyone was circling around Mel to listen to his cool facts about how to make GigaBash better. But there was one person outside of the circle, and that person is me. Because I don't want to take away the important listening positions from the important people. I'm just a fresh grad. And I also wasn't brave enough to stare Mel straight into his eyes and look at his face. So what I did, right, was through the gaps of people circling Mel, I see through the gap and I look at the whiteboard. The whiteboard has the director's face reflected on it. That's how I look at Mel throughout the entire meeting. You might find it hard to believe, but it's true. So that was how shy I was. How about you, CS? Any cool, embarrassing rookie story when you first joined?
Well, it's not as dramatic as yours. So unlike Jin, when I first joined Passion Republic, I wasn't started from GigaBash. But I actually came across GigaBash with the playtest when they were having the playtest before the releases. So I was very curious. I went to sign up as volunteer to help them to playtest. What they told me, you just need to create problems, find many bugs, as many as you can. So I was like, oh, this is my first time playing games. I just need to find problems. And this was my first contribution to GigaBash. So, what's your first contribution to you, Jin?
So yes, CS here doesn't immediately start out with GigaBash. So that's why her first contribution is just being a playtester. But for myself, when I first joined, I was immediately with the GigaBash team. So for your question, what is my first contribution? It was a small system called the quick chat system. It's very small. I'm not even sure if our GigaBash player noticed this little feature, but I'm still pretty proud of it. So as is shown in the picture, rather a GIF, it's just a system where you would select a GIF, maybe talk with your friends, or maybe taunt your enemies. It was a small system for a new programmer like me. So even if I screw up something, it doesn't necessarily will break the entire game. But still, I'm proud of it because it's part of my stepping stone into become the game engineer that I am today.
But I remember when I joined GigaBash, you were already a gameplay engineer that helps to create game mechanic for the games. So how did you end up become a gameplay engineer from doing a quick chat system?
So you might not know, but I ended up later becoming the gameplay programmer engineer for GigaBash. So it's interesting, how did I go from the small quick chat system into the gameplay engineer that I am today? So for my next story, I made the jump during our second DLC, which is at the time the Ultraman collab with Zuburaya. So when this DLC is announced in the office, I was like beyond excited. Because I grew up with Ultraman, I'm a huge fan of Ultraman. I have a CD of Ultraman this thick, I'm not joking. So when it's announced, I got very excited. So I approached Mel, the guy in front of the whiteboard just now, the director. I basically nerd out about Ultraman with him. I told him about, okay, when he strike this pose, what sound does this Ultraman make? When he changes form, what color does it turn into? Any little detail, any little fan trivia, I just bombarded Mel with it. So I guess Mel just saw the fire burning in my eyes and told me, okay, Jin, I think, okay, like you show that you are interested in Ultraman. Do you think you want to join us into making it come to life? Then, of course, without thinking, I just say, yes, I want to do it, I want to do it. So in this slide, that is me in mocap suit, mocapping for Ultraman Tiga. It was fun. I was so very happy for the chance. So that's more or less how I got into the gameplay engineering side, yeah.
But I remember you were very shy that you can only see the director's face through the reflection.
Yes, that's true. I just told you guys that I was very shy. So where do I get the courage of talking to Mel and nerd out like that? So for my next story, funnily enough, the courage comes from Mel, the director himself. So like I mentioned, yes, I was doing quick chat system, and I have some bugs that I don't know how to fix. And at the time, only Mel, the director, knows the solution to my problem. So I asked him for help, still very shy. I asked Mel, can you help me for this problem? Then he just walked straight over to my seat. He kneeled down in front of my table, and then he started fixing the problem. So understandably, I was a bit scared and I'm panicking. Like, wow, the biggest guy in GigaBash, the director is kneeling down in front of a fresh graduate's table. That cannot be, right? So I tell Mel, oh Mel, do you need my chair? Like, sit down, I give you my chair. But then Mel just said, "Aya, no need lah." And then he just kept on working on the problem. So it was during then I realized that maybe Mel doesn't see himself as the biggest guy in GigaBash. Maybe he just saw himself as just another teammate trying to make GigaBash the best that it can. So it was from this moment, I started opened up to Mel. I started opening up to my teammates because they are not just like the big guy, the biggest guy. They are all my teammates and my friends. So that's more or less how I gotten over my shyness and ended up in the GigaBash gameplay team. So how about you, CS? How did you go from a playtester into the game animator for GigaBash that you are today?
So before going into my story, actually our company got two branches. One is Passion Republic and one is Passion Republic Games. So as you can see, I was on the left side. I work from the external development team, work with the partners to help them create art asset for the games. So during downtime, my teammate and I was actually exploring new ideas and we ended up to create a new mini boss fight system. And animating this character was actually quite fun. And this character is a huge ghost and armor, slashing big sword to the enemy. When animating this character, I spent a lot of time into experimenting how to make this boss behave, how to attack, how to move. I also spent some time to find reference to support my ideas, to make the animation looks great in the gameplay. So I guess my hard work paid off. It caught the attention from GigaBash team. They came to ask me if I'm interested to join GigaBash and take in charge of the animation team. I was like, why not? I like to challenge myself. So I took the opportunity and now I'm in the GigaBash team.
I see. So basically, you did this super cool ghost boss fighting and then you got scouted by the GigaBash team. Okay, that's cool. So that is more or less the story on how we ended up in the GigaBash team. So, like I mentioned, GigaBash is 4 years old. And over the time of 4 years, we have been working on, like I mentioned, multiple DLCs with big names like Ultraman, Godzilla, Gamera, and also our own original content as well. So basically, we have a lot of time to grow and improve as game engineer and game animator, and we learned so many lessons that might be a bit too long for today's talk, so maybe for another time. Point is, we improved, and in the same time, GigaBash also have more young talents, fresh blood joining the team. They look just like us when we first joined, very young, very eager to scream out in the universe to prove that they can make games. And it's also during this time, we got hit by something we did not see coming. Namely, next slide please. Responsibility, yes. So to be more exact, is that we got nominated to be the leader of each of our respective department.
Yep, time flies. We are not longer the baby chicken in the team. And now we are the mama chicken in the team. And there are more baby chicken coming into the GigaBash and they need our guidance too.
Also, we know the term baby chicken is wrong. It's supposed to be chicks. But since we think baby chicken sound nicer, so just bear with us with that term. So basically, back then when I was a baby chicken, I was just a baby engineer. The only thing I have to worry about is my own code, my own programming. But now I am the mama chicken. I have to make sure all my baby chicken's code makes sense and it doesn't break the game. Not to mention, I have to worry more things like scheduling, deadlines. What happens if my baby chicken has conflict with each other? How do I resolve that? So back then, if I have a problem, I will find my mama chicken and ask for help. But now I am the mama chicken, and it is my baby chicken that needs my guidance.
It was definitely a hard transition for both of us. When I was chosen to be the animation leader in the GigaBash team, some of my seniors actually worry about me that I'll be putting under a lot of pressure because I only have 2 years experience in the industry. But I wasn't scared. I still took the opportunity to challenge myself. So I was training under Kenny, who was my mentor and the lead animator from the GigaBash team. So he taught me how to learn to be a good mama chicken. And he was a very patient leader to me. Slowly to teach me how to handle the team, how to manage the schedule, how to make a decision. And suddenly, he got into an injury and now he's out of commission. So I have to learn how to be my own mama chicken and have to join the big team immediately.
Yes, I remember that. CS here was trying to learn how to be lead from her mentor, Kenny. And then suddenly, Kenny just got himself into an accident. And now he has several surgeries he has to partake. And yeah, now CS only have herself to learn how to be the mama chicken. Also, Kenny is fine. Yes, there has been surgeries, but very minor. He's very healthy and working with us right now, so don't worry about that. So the point is, we got pushed into a leadership position and we faced a lot of challenges. So for the next major part of our talk, we are going to share some of the pain points we face as we grow as the leader of our own department. So for my first point, okay, very simple to understand. When you become lead, there's more things to consider. Of course, there's more responsibility. Like I mentioned, back then when I'm just the baby engineer, I only have to make sure my code runs. Now I have to make sure everyone in my team, their code is good, doesn't break the game. But that's not just my department as well. I also have to take care of other departments' problem. So for example, CS right here, animator, let's say something doesn't run in the engine, the animation doesn't run. So she'll come approach me and ask me, okay, there's a problem, can you fix it for me? So when I receive that problem, I have to think about, okay, which one of my baby chicken has the capability to fix this problem? And if he fixes this problem, does it affect the current task he has right now? Does it affect his current deadline? If this guy's deadline is affected, does it affect the deadline of the entire project as a whole? So that's multiple questions I have to ask just to fix one simple problem. And that's just only from the animation team. It could be from other departments as well. So I find myself doing something I call the squad. So basically, I would sit down trying to finish my work, and then some other guy at other department need my help. I will stand up, walk to their place, fix their problem, go back to my place, sit down. And then some other guy on a different side of the office will ask me for help. Then I'll stand up, fix their problem, sit down. So I find myself doing sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up all the time, which is why I call it the squad. So I'm very busy doing the squad, and I had no time to finish my own programming tasks.
Well, same like Jen, I also suffer with the increased workload. So when I was in the GigaBash team, I need to handle how to manage the schedule, how to lead my team, and how to manage all the communication part. So some of the baby chicken I lead are even older than me. I was like, am I qualified enough to lead the team? Or what's the best for the team that I can provide? So I feel like there's a lot of eyes watching me. So aside from gameplay animation, I was directing the trailer team as well in the team. So it works very different from gameplay animation because we need to take care of the cinematography to make sure the visual looks good and appealing. So a lot of the time, I struggle with my stress and anxiety. And I tell myself I cannot fail. Even though there's a lot of mountain that I need to cross through in front of me, but I still don't want to admit to defeat. So this became a very bad mindset. I ended up to focus on make sure everything hits the deadline, expectation. I'll check out everything and cover out for everyone if we are running out of capacity. And I only feel safe if I check everything before the submission. So over the time, my stress was stacking up and it's slowly affecting my confidence.
Yep. Even though CS right here is talking about how stressed she is and she has some self-doubts, but the funny thing is I never noticed anything up until our fourth DLC, I believe. It was at the time she was at her seat trying to make the animation work for our fourth DLC. Everything seemed fine in my eyes. But someone noticed that something is wrong, right?
Yes, it was my mentor, Kenny. He actually noticed me. He came to approach me and asked if I'm okay. But that time, I was actually emotional unstable. And I wasn't sure of my own capability because I doubt myself a lot and I need to face these many challenges. And I wasn't sure whether I can lead my team to achieve what we wanted.
I can definitely relate to that. That's what happens when you are inexperienced and you have to tackle tasks that you never tackled before, which might seem very big at the time. So we also didn't just struggle for our own personal challenges. Remember that we're still a team. So for our next problem, we also had some communication issues with our young team. So as we mentioned, our baby chickens are quite young, fresh in the industry. So understandably, they are just like us when we first came. They are very shy and very reserved.
Yep, this is also paired with the fact that we are still learning the soft skill of leadership, how to handle the team, how to handle the conflict or the communication with the team. So a lot of the time, we are still inexperienced and shy. We will just use the Slack to deliver our message to everyone in the team because it feels safe and nothing will go wrong for everyone. But then, it was not a good idea because it caused a lot of misunderstanding in the team. Like as you guys know, art can be very nuanced. One simple arrow in color can bring out very different things and mean difference. So without directly voicing out our opinion and thought, the accuracy of direction can be subtle.
Yup. It's not like we're saying using Slack or any messaging apps is wrong. It gets the job done. It's just that sometimes if you use Messenger, the chemistry and then there's no emotion to a message. So our team chemistry got affected as a whole. My personal belief is this. Using Slack also affected our creativity, and it reduced the chance of the creativity sparked, so to say, that happens in the team. I firmly believe that creativity flourishes and happened when it's just a bunch of friends just talking about fun ideas and the fun games that have played, and they can just share freely their creativity to the rest of the team. So using Slack or just messaging each other doesn't allow that to happen too often. And as a result, our team chemistry suffered because of that.
So these are the few points of the challenges that we made in the production. So how did we overcome the challenges in the team?
So that is our second golden question of the day. We spent some time talking about our challenges. We will now talk about how did we overcome it in the next part. So next, first point, workload. Yes, obviously now you're a leader, you have to do more things. So for my next story, it happened during one of my intense squad sessions. I was running around everywhere trying to fix everyone's problem myself. So it must be due to all the running around and talking that I got very thirsty. So I was there at the water dispenser trying to get water to freshen up. So that's when my mentor, Jack, must have noticed that I look very stressed out. So he approached me and asked me, Jin, you look very stressed, huh? What's wrong? So I took the chance and tell him what I'm facing right now. So he gave me advice that I never forget. So he's saying, Jin, maybe you should trust your teammate more. The fact that you are running around so much and trying to fix everyone's problem yourself probably means you don't give your teammate enough trust as developers of their own. So yeah, maybe give them some trust. So I give that advice some thinking, and then I asked Jack, okay, what happens if my teammate still make mistakes if I'm not watching over them? Then Jack told me, Jin, we are not gods. We are all humans. We all make mistakes. So it's fine. Let your teammate make mistakes so they can grow from it, become a better developer, become a better teammate for the team. So yeah, what's wrong? What's so wrong about this? So soon after that talk session, I tried it. I changed my way of approach. Instead of trying to fix everyone's problem and look at the problem from the start to end, I will just tell my teammate, okay, I understand your problem. Here is some solutions I can suggest. Try it and tell me if it works or not. I allow them space to do their own thing and grow. So surprisingly, to my happiness, it worked. Not saying that we didn't do any mistake. We are very young. But the point is that we can make mistakes together. And we can learn together. So my old approach is that I try to fix everyone's problem by myself, but understand that I'm also human. I also make mistakes. So who is to say I never make mistake, right? So overall, it was a much more healthy approach to grow the team as a whole if we make mistakes together and we grow together. So after that, after the team has grown well enough, I also have enough time to do my own thing, and I don't have to do squads that often anymore. So that was my solution for my increased workload. For the next problem, self-doubt. Yes, CS here mentioned that she struggled with self-doubt and stress. So my question is this. Since Kenny noticed that you're very stressed and then he consulted you, so I wonder, what advice did Kenny give you that day?
Actually, he didn't really give me advice.
So he didn't give you any advice at all?
Rather than giving advice, what he did to me was he actually be my listener that day. So he listened to me when I was expressing my concern, my challenges, or the struggle I face in the team. And then he asked me a very important question. CS, do you want to step down from being a leader if you feel very stressed? So I hesitated for a while, but then I refused. Because I'm joy GigaBash, I want to learn how to be a leader, how to grow better. If I run away from my challenges, I will never grow again. I will meet the same challenge in the future. So when Kenny asked me this question, he was just asking the question with care and heart. And I realized that Kenny is not doubting on me. So maybe the eyes that are watching me, they are not judging me, but they are actually watching over me. So after that, Kenny will come to me and check on me once in a while to see whether I'm okay and stable. I'm very grateful and appreciate what he did to me. Because without Kenny, my mentor, I will face a challenge by myself. And since then, I realized how important it is to have a listener. And Kenny helped me to become my listener. So maybe it's time for me to be someone else's listener. And one day, I noticed that one of my teammates who had a tough time in his life. So I went to check out on him and asked whether there's any support I can give to him. So I spent my time, listen to his story, and give any support if he needs. So he slowly overcome the challenges, and then he come back to the battlefield again. And then, throughout the many DLC production, the experience I gained and all the good reviews we get from the fans also build my own confidence and make me qualified to lead the team now.
Yep. I'm very happy that your mentor Kenny was there when you needed him the most, to have someone to listen to your problems. And I'm also happy that you're able to do the same and be the listener for your teammates. I believe that helped with the morale a lot. So, with that being said, let's move on to our final problem we have to tackle, team synergy and chemistry. Now, this is a tough cookie to crack because, as we all know, we cannot force chemistry. But we did notice that there's something we are doing wrong. We are treating each other like colleagues. So you might ask me, Jin, what are you talking about? The person you work with is your colleague, so what's so wrong about it? Well, that's not wrong, but I believe in this industry, there's something special. We all grew up playing games. We all made friends playing games. We are all sitting right here because we want to channel that love and creativity into making games of our own. So it's such a shame that in a room filled with so many creative people, so ambitious, want to scream out their creativity, and it's all to just be colleagues, right, in the same room. It's a waste. I feel like we should be friends, and above all, we should be teammates that share what fun game they have played last night. We should be friends that laugh together when things goes right and cry together when things doesn't go too well. This reminds me of what Mel did for me This reminds me of what Mel did to me when I first came to Passion. So by kneeling down, he indirectly allowed me to open up to the rest of the team. So maybe it's time for us to kneel down for our teammates as well. I mean, not literally kneeling down, but figuratively, I'm sure you understand. So that's when we try to put more effort into building the team and building our friendship.
And from that, we started the board case to celebrate our DLC releases and completion. We even rented an Airbnb to have karaoke session just to have fun. So, and then started from that, we started to talk around in the office. We even share the fun stuff and the games that we play over the weekend.
Yep, these pictures, if you look at it, I think that was during our 4th DLC, I believe. We celebrated the release, we rented Airbnb, we have barbecue, we have a karaoke, and then we went to the picture right there, the Riverside Hotel. I was playing splashing water with my friend, very mature. And for the bottom right one, it's during our final Ascension release. So we sit down together and we played Final Ascension together as a group, as friends. So in the end, that's how we created a workspace that is very friendly, very open, and that's how we started talking about interesting ideas. And in the end, we no longer see each other as the great director or the big lead of GigaBash. we see each other as just friends.
Yep. So, from all the solutions that we mentioned, how we overcome our challenge. So let's do a final review, Jin.
So as conclusion, what did we learn today? Number one, trust your teammates maybe a little bit more. It's not healthy for you to try to solve everyone's problem. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we make mistakes together and we grow together. Second, it's important to realize that we are all human and sometimes we just need someone to listen to our problems. We just need a listener. And that person might seem fine on the surface, but maybe all it takes for you is to just ask him, oh, are you okay? For them to open up to you. And when you are ready, maybe you can be a listener for someone else too. And last but not least, I think in our industry, we should strive to be more than just colleagues. We should be teammates and friends. And that's how creativity flourishes. And it flourishes best when you are just talking about ideas with just your friends.
Thank you, Jin, for summarizing the point. So these solutions may sound easy, but this lesson we all learn through blood, sweat, and tears. And of course, with the help from the original developers of GigaBash.
Yes, with all our challenges tackled and mitigated, we found ourselves ready for our biggest challenge yet, which was Final Ascension that we talked about earlier in the talk. So, fun fact, I'm not just the game engineering lead for GigaBash. For Final Ascension, I just so happen to be the narrative writer as well. So you ask me, oh, how did the game engineer guy got to write the story for Final Ascension? Well, actually, it's quite simple. Because we cultivated a workspace so friendly, any idea can come out from anyone. So one day I just started casually talking to my friend about, well, we must make Gigaman sacrifice himself in the end, give him a cool form. The monster Rawa should combine with this monster and become God, and that's how you fight in the end. And I started throwing out crazy ideas, and my friends also responded. That's when CS joined in, threw her a crazy idea as well. And that's how it snowballed and snowballed to Final Ascension we see today. And also, because I was able to manage my workload well enough, the team grow well enough to handle their own thing, I was free enough to write the story at the side and express my own creativity.
Well, with Jin writing the story, the animation team and engineering team to work hard for the DLC Final Ascension, we wanted to pay tribute to the fans that are always waiting for new story content from GigaBash.
So not just that, these are the comments we gotten from our fans for Final Ascension. So not only that we want to pay tribute and thank the fans, we also want to pay tribute to us, the baby chicken that has turned into mama chicken, and also we want to thank our teammates that has also grown into capable, grown adult chicken of their own. And I also want to thank the original mama chickens, the original GigaBash creators. Without them, without their guidance, we wouldn't be who we are today. And as you see the funny pictures that we posted just now, it is all reenactment. Of course, when Mel is kneeling down for me 4 years ago, I didn't have a photo taking picture of him. That's impossible. So I simply asked him to do it again for me, and he just did. So yeah, again, thanks for our senior to be so cool and take us who we are to where we are today.
Yep. Similar to what happened to Gigaman in the story, we have also turned into Gaia Gigaman.
Next slide.
With fire wings, burning with courage. And then we have ascended as a team. But rest assured, we will still continue to grow as a team and as a person. This might be the final ascension for Gigaman, but our ascension is far from over. And our journey has just begun.
Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope you have a great time with Indie Jam.
Next slide, please.
Okay, so I believe.
Yeah, we have some time for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions you guys would like to ask.
Hi, my name is Gordingson, and I'm an aspiring game director. The first thing I want to ask is, are you planning to make any games besides GigaBash?
So the question is, any new games beside GigaBash, right?
Yeah.
Well, for that one, you have to pay attention to our socials, our Facebook, our Instagram, and YouTube. Then you get the latest news if it happens or if it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Can you drop the handles for your social media?
Can I drop the handles? Well, that caught me off guard. Because maybe you can visit our booth right over there. Our booth is on the left side. The GigaBash Final Ascension, you can't miss it, and you can get it from there.
Right, thank you. Any more questions, anyone? So, as we know, gamers are mostly introverts, right? Some of us are introverts and have a hard time socializing. Same can be said about game developers. How then do you encourage them or to come out of that sense of introvertness to actually communicate with their team to actually produce a game?
I have an answer for that. So less of a general answer, but more my feelings towards how introverted we are as a whole, right? So back then when I'm in high school, I'm also very super introverted. Because back then, I was kind of like the nerd guy that talks about Skyrim and play D&D or something while everyone is doing sports. So true enough, I was the shy guy with the group of nerds that is on the side of the classroom. So it was when I joined Passion that I realized that actually everyone here is just as nerdy as I am. And that's how I opened up to everyone, because it's crazy. I can mention any games, anyone will understand exactly what I'm talking about. But in the sense of advising how to overcome introvertness, that's a very, very tough question, because it might have something to do with you as a whole and your experiences from when you are young to now. So you can't just simply change your personality in one night. So my advice and my thinking is, don't be ashamed to talk about what you like in a game, and just be friends with each other. Just start a topic like, oh, have you seen the cool trailer that came out with this game, and connect with each other as friends and as people that love games and want to make games. Sorry if it sounds a bit general, but that's how I feel in terms of that.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, GigaBash booth is right there. Feel free to play it. I spent a lot of effort into making the game. I mean, we spent a lot of effort making it. So yeah, it's right there on the left side. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jin. Thank you, CS.
Thank you.